Well, the big story developing at this hour, close to 2 months after a move that plunged Sri Lanka into political chaos, the country's top court has ruled against the president. Sri Lanka Supreme Court declared that the parliament cannot be dissolved. The 7-judge bench verdict means that President Sirisena has to reconvene parliament and Ranil Wickremesinghe is back as the prime minister for now. The court ruled that President Sirisena's decision to call for snap polls was illegal and overturned it. The sacking of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe stands null and void. It was a unanimous decision by the 7 judges of the bench. Now, Ranil Wickremesinghe took to Twitter minutes after the verdict was pronounced. He said, and I quote, "We trust that the president will promptly respect the judgment of the top courts, and the legislature, judiciary and the executive are equally important pillars of democracy, and the checks and balances that they provide are crucial to ensuring the sovereignty of its citizens." Mahinda Rajapakse, who was appointed as the Prime Minister by President Sirisena, had lost 2 trust votes in Parliament, and now this verdict comes as another huge setback for him. Rajapakse's son and a member of parliament in the Sri Lankan legislature has also tweeted saying that we respect the decision of Lanka Supreme Court despite the fact that we have reservations regarding its interpretation. We will continue to stand alongside those calling for a parliamentary election without which there is no real justice for the people of Sri Lanka. Now, riding high on this victory, Ranil Wickremesinghe's party, the UNP, is now mulling options to impeach the president, Maithripala Sirisena. Wion spoke to the UNP MP, Harsha De Silva, who confirmed this decision.
Yeah, if they wish to, they can join our alliance. And we will create a UNF government. So the UNF means UNP plus our alliance partners. If the SLFP wants to come and join our alliance, they are welcome to. But I don't think the sentiment among the members of parliament, I can't speak on behalf of my boss, the Prime Minister.
Indeed.
But the general feeling is that no, we should do this on our own. And like I said, if some of them wishes to join us, those are open. Come join us
right.
in a part of the alliance, and then we can form a UNS government. They can also be part of the UNS. The president has violated the constitution. If what he has done is illegal, then multiple options open up. Now, I don't think at all that anyone is going to go down that road. No one is interested in doing so. But this is a serious indictment on the president's actions. So whether he bit more than he could chew, certainly yes, he did. Did he get the right advice? Certainly he did not get the right advice. Was he led up the garden path by those who wanted to come back to power at any cost so that their personal legal issues could be sorted out?
All right, and now joining us for more on this is N. Ram, senior journalist, a former editor of The Hindu, who joins us from Chennai. And N. Ram, sir, thanks very much for talking to us this evening. Your thoughts on what Harsha De Silva there said, that basically the president chew more than, he bit more than he could chew, and the fact that he should now be impeached.
Yes, I think he deserves to be impeached if they can get the numbers. But he should step down himself, because he's every bit responsible for every bit of this mess. It's something. What did he say? He couldn't get on with the Prime Minister. He didn't like Ranil Wickremesinghe's face. Is that a point to consider when you're dealing with constitutional issues? And everything he's done is unconstitutional. Sacking Ranil Wickremesinghe, it's clearly unconstitutional when he had a majority. Suspending Parliament, dissolving Parliament, in blatant violation of a specific clause, a provision in the Constitution which says that you can't do it before 4.5 years are gone.
Right.
The elected term of Parliament. And he's claimed dictatorial powers, really. And he has no mass base. He won an election largely because the UNP and the Tamil parties supported him.
Right. And Mr. Ram...
so he should know that his only way of, saving face, if you likes, I think he wants to be president for another term. I think that is gone. Nobody's going to support him on that. Even I think Mr. Rajapaksa will feel legitimately feels let down because he was dragged into this mess by the president. Of course, he shouldn't have taken the bait and made a play to grab power. But it's been a complete mess, and I think the UN plea has played its cards right.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And Mr. Ram, having said that, what do you think triggered this escalation, or rather the stubbornness on the part of the president? Where was it coming from? Was he acting on his own, or as many conspiracy theories always emerge about what happens in our neighborhood?
No, I think I wouldn't buy any conspiracy theory. I think he wanted another term for himself. And I think it appears that in their conversations or whatever, Ranil Wickremesinghe made it clear he was not going to support him for another term. And it's entirely selfish on the part of the president to do it, but also a disastrous miscalculation about what lay ahead. To cover up your one mistake, you get into a deeper hole. That's exactly what has happened in this case. And every step has been disastrous, what he's taken. He's even lost a large bulk of his party because Mr. Rajapaksa has now broken away and formed another party. So it's the rump of the SLFP that's left.
Right. All right. Right.
He's destroyed his party. That is Sirisena's accomplishment.
Right, Mr. Ram, thanks very much indeed for joining us, the latest there, and sharing your thoughts. And Ram there pointing out, of course, this has disastrous consequences for the president who thought that he could win another term by pushing his case, which was completely unconstitutional. Well, moving on now from Sri Lanka to...